of you here for this important announcement about an initiative designed to improve teaching and learning in our state. I'm delighted to welcome Dick Iannuzzi, President of New York State United Teachers, and Michael Mulgrew, President of the United Federation of Teachers, to join me for this event. Today, we announce a proposal to establish a comprehensive evaluation system for teachers and principals.
It's been a pleasure doing very constructive, developing work and working together, and with Chancellor Tisch for her leadership on this. From the teachers who I talk to almost every single day of my life, they've always told me that the evaluation system just doesn't work for us as a profession. And it was too subjective, and a lot of it was based upon whim. And this system really will move us forward as a profession to have specific criteria laid out so that we could have a much more objective system, and then more importantly tie that to professional development opportunities which relate directly to our performance inside of the classroom is a giant step forward, both for the teachers and for the students of the city and the state. That's why I love this proposal so very much. That's why I love this proposal so very much, and I'm hoping as we go to the legislature that we can get this passed before the deadline of June 1st.
What are the key benefits for your members that you are getting in this agreement? What are the improvements from your point of view?
The objectivity is key, especially for my members in the city. They have felt that the subjectivity of the current system really just doesn't work for them in terms of identifying their own needs and in terms of identifying good teachers and teachers who are having issues. They feel that it's completely being based right now on almost basically on how does your administrator feel about you this year. And this is a big step forward because the evaluation process was never supposed to be a gotcha system. It was supposed to be a system that allows teachers to continually develop in a constructive way throughout their careers. And this process that we've come to an agreement on here really moves us in that direction. And it also continues to protect the due process and fairness.
We will be looking for our local unions to give them all the information we can to let them make good judgments around our advice, and then to give them all the information we can to let them make good judgments around our advice, and then to give them all the information we can to let them make good judgments around our advice, and then.
This is John White, Deputy Chancellor in New York City, speaking for Chancellor Klein.
Thank you.
I'll just say that we think this is a big step forward for our 80,000 teachers and our 1 million kids. We would like to express our support for the bill that the State Education Department, NYSED, and the UFT have worked together and have passed. We want to urge that the state pay the diligent attention to 3020A that's clearly embedded in this bill, and offer all of our support in developing the standards and assessments that will be necessary to make it work for teachers and for students. Best of luck, and thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, and through you, our thanks to the Chancellor, to Chancellor Joel Klein. Very grateful for this strong endorsement. Again, this is not an effort, as I said this morning, to create a gotcha system.
My members have been crying out about what they fear is the injustice that is happening to students in the schools as there's an over-reliance on test prep. They continually say in every school I go into that if we continue down this path of just focusing our entire instructional day upon preparing students for standardized test scores, they are not learning what they need to know to be successful in life. And we have clear evidence of this.
That's what I'm asking, Mike, from a parent's perspective, looking at state as well, a local assessment as well as a state assessment, and then looking at another round of tests for the kids, and you seem to be indicating that it will not be another round of tests for the kids.
Let me be very clear. The Chancellor who is with us today, Chancellor Merrill Tisch, and the Board have been outspoken in saying, and I have too, that our current state tests are imperfect. We know this. That our current state tests are imperfect. We know this. That our current state tests are imperfect. We know this. We have taken immediate action to make them better already this year. We will take further action to make them better next year. I grew up in a number of countries. I didn't see a multiple choice test until I was 21 years old. And very frankly, I think our over-reliance on bubble tests has not served our students well, either in this state or across the nation. We have to move towards performance-based assessments. We have to move towards assessments that get at the deep skills and knowledge that 21st century citizens will need. I think we've got work to do. We believe that there's a balance between the number you put on a test score and all of the other multiple measures that we've been describing. Given that our tests are imperfect, to ask, for example, that the tests represent, I'm picking any number at random, 60, 70 points out of 100, would not, I think, be professionally responsible. So we have been careful, deliberative, and we believe we're in the right place.
And let me just stress the Commissioner's last point, because what you have in front of you and what we will be carrying across the street is an acknowledgement among the parties that dependence on standardized tests is not the way to look at teacher.
The points that they brought up were absolutely, completely reliable. The other issue is we're looking at growth and then value added. We're not looking under the current ESEA regulations where it just takes a snapshot. So a teacher who has chosen to work with at-risk children, it would be at a disadvantage because those children it'll be much harder to have those children score what is considered proficient. This is now in terms of student growth, it's the growth from one point to the next point, and it's not about the level of that every child has to be at the level of proficiency. So it does, in terms of a teacher in a classroom, it no longer penalizes a teacher who chooses to work with at-risk kids or chooses to work with difficult populations. It now values the ability they have in terms of making students learn and move forward. So that's why it is something that it's much, much fairer.
I want to end by saying that this really is opening a new chapter. We are not trying to put ceilings over anybody. We are not trying to restrain. We are inviting our colleagues, our teachers, our superintendents, our families, all of us to think hard about high standards for our students, high standards for our teachers, for our principals, for our superintendents, for our school boards, for us at the Department of Education. We have an enormous amount of work to do, enormous. We cannot be happy with where we are. There are too many students falling through the cracks, and there are too many teachers not getting the professional development that they deserve. There are too many instances where we're not challenging ourselves to excel. So this is about a beginning, not an end, and we're excited to be here at that moment. Thank you so much, everybody.
We've given up trying to work with this administration.
Right.
We've given up.
Right.
Sure. Everything we say falls on deaf ears. They don't want to listen to parents.